now I want us to look at the future value of interest. So when you either loan money out or when you borrow money, it's not just that amount that you have to give back or somebody has to pay you back. They also have to pay you back the interest amount. And so that's what the future value is. It takes into account for all of it. And so let's look at this example. It says we want to find the loan's future value when my principal is $3,000, my rate is 7%, and my T is 2 years. Well, we see that the future value is A equals your principal amount times 1 plus your rate, which in this case is 0.07, times 2. So all we've done so far is I plugged in for my P, my R, my T, and now I need to go back and simplify. So A equals 3,000 times 1 plus 0.07 times 2 is 0.14. And now if we do 1 plus 0.14, we get 3,000 times 1, that is 1.14. And now, if we multiply those together, we get our future value amount equals $3,420. And so if you was to have to pay this back, not only would you have to just pay the $3,000, but you would also have to pay the interest, totaling $3,420. All right, now in this example, we want to determine the loan's simple interest rate. So we're solving for that R. So again, we're just going to plug in. So we have our formula A equals P times 1 plus R times T. And we're trying to solve for R here. So let's just plug in for what we know. So we know A is 3,180 equals my P. And then times 1 plus R times T, which is 1. All right? So, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to try to get rid of that, we're going to try to get rid of this P amount. And so what we're going to do is we're going to divide. See how the 3,000 is being multiplied by the 1 plus the R times 1, so we can divide by it to get rid of it. So we divide both sides by 3,000. Now that's going to cancel, okay, on the right. And 3,180 divided by 3,000 is 1.06 equals 1 plus 1 times R is just R. And so that just gives me equals 1 plus R. And now to get the R by itself, we subtract 1 from both sides, and we get 0.06 is equal to R. Now remember, R represents your interest rate, so we want to take this decimal and convert it to, back into a percent. And so to do that, remember, you move your decimal 2 places to the right, and when we do that, we find that our rate, our simple interest rate, is just 6%. All right, now in this example, we want to determine the present value. So now we're looking for that P, the initial, either how much we lend out or how much we borrow, that's going to give us back a value of $6,000 at the rate of 8% for a total of 2 years. And so again, we're going to use the same future value formula. So we have A equals our principal times 1 plus rate times time. And again, we just plug in for what we have. So we see that my A is 6,000. We don't know P, that's what we're solving for, so we're going to leave it in there. And then we have 1 plus my rate, which is 0.08, times my T, which is 2. All right, and now we just want to start simplifying this. So we have 6,000 equals my P times 0.08 times 2. That gives me 0.16 plus 1 gives me 1.16. 0.16. And now, in order to get that P by itself, since those are being multiplied, we just divide both sides by 1.16, 1.16 to both sides. And when we do that, we get 5,172.413 and some more decimals. But because we're talking about money, we always run around to the nearest cent. And so we get a P value, a present value of $5,127, and that rounds to 42. Excuse me, that should be, wrote that backwards. That's $5,172.42.